Welcome. This is Monty Henry, back again from DPL Surveillance Equipment. And I think we have a very, very interesting and exciting show that we're going to bring to you today. And let me see if I can get somewhat comfortable here. And I want you guys to get comfortable as well, because we have a lot of content. And I don't know if we're going to be able to cover it all, but we have a lot of content and a lot of information that we're going to be covering today. So if you know of anyone that's into cybersecurity and or physical security, you probably want to go and grab them and make sure that they get a chance to attend this session. We're going to do our best to cover as much ground as possible again. But I can't guarantee we're going to get through all the content. And also, we're going to try to cram as many show notes into the session as possible, so that you guys can go back and reference a lot of the specifics that we may or may not get a chance to cover. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a moment to get organized, if you will, and grab a seat or whatever, so that we can get going and see how much ground we can actually cover. Okay, let's see here. 182. What else can we put in here? I like to put as much information into the little box as possible here. Let's see, that's going to be too much chat line. Experience. Okay. Chat live. Okay, I think that's cool. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so welcome. Again, this is Monty, once again from DPL Surveillance Equipment, and we're a full-service surveillance and security equipment company, and we have perhaps the largest inventory of items that not only can you buy, but you can rent as well. And you can rent and you can lay away. And some of the things that distinguish us from the other companies, if I haven't mentioned it already in other sessions, of course, we have the lifetime guarantees and warranties, 24/7, 365 tech sales and customer support, and a large, very large inventory of items that not only can you buy, but you can rent as well. And we've been doing this for going on 20 years. And welcome. Are you a hacker? No, I'm not an official hacker. I just got, I don't know why is that important, but yeah, I just learned a whole lot, self-taught, learned a whole lot about this, these things. Just happened to make a living out of it, doing surveillance and security checks all over for a long, long time. Okay, he says layaway ? We call that Mexican credit. Okay. Well, that's fine. I don't know why it's restricted to Mexicans, but it seems like a number of other people have taken advantage of it as well, in addition to Mexicans. So that's interesting. So let's see here. Now, this particular session has everything to do with cybersecurity and physical security. Again, my expertise really lies in physical security. Since 1997, we've been helping people all over the planet secure their cars, boats, homes, offices. We've been helping them put trackers on vehicles. We've been helping them find trackers on vehicles. Let's see what checks all over saying. If you are a hacker, how can I trust you with securing my cyber? If you are a hacker, how can I trust you with securing my site? I never said I was a hacker, okay? Okay, and I'm not asking you to trust me. Okay, don't trust me. Okay, if you don't want me to trust, I'm not begging anybody to gain anybody. I don't have anything to prove. Okay, we've been doing quite successful for a long time, so we don't need to prove anything. So let's not even go there. Okay, intelligent questions and things are fine, but yeah, let's try to stay focused if we can. Again, my expertise is physical security. Since 1997, we've been doing physical security. We've been helping people with surveillance and counter surveillance. That means, again, if you need to find a tracker, or if you need to plant a tracker on a vehicle, if you need to plant a camera somewhere, in a home, office, car, boat, whatever, that's fine. We can help you, as we have been. Or if you are a private investigator, intelligence agency, or law enforcement or something, we can help you find those cameras, okay, that someone else planted, or vice versa. If you need anti-terrorist products, explosive detectors, narcotics detectors, that's fine. We can supply those as well. We have all sorts. Let's see what Checks All Over is saying. Like a shoe camera. Yeah, sort of like a shoe camera. Checks All Over. You got it. All sorts of cameras. Okay. So that's where our expertise lies. But now it just so happens that I've been doing shows with a partner of mine on cybersecurity. Okay. We have links to our cybersecurity episodes on YouTube. On the left-hand side, you're going to see cybersecurity for you and your business, sponsored by Spy Gadget Rentals, yada, yada, yada. Okay. That link actually takes you to our YouTube page, where you can see that we have an extensive video collection pertaining to cybersecurity. Okay, we've been helping people with that. And let's see, is that link correct? I think that's a complete link. Anyway, that link on the left-hand side is leads to our cybersecurity videos, where you can see those cybersecurity related videos. So I've been thinking, okay, what can we apply to the world of cybersecurity and in terms of what we're doing in the physical security space? In other words, physical security has been around for a long time, even before there was an internet, even before there was a need to be concerned about hacking into computers and such. So we had an opportunity to learn a whole lot about how to help you protect your house, your car, your boat, your children, your pets, animals, your valuables, etc. So we've been doing this for a long time, and I've been thinking, how do we leverage that education over into the other areas, right, into the cyber world? And believe it or not, there are a whole lot of ways to leverage that skill set, or leverage the things that we've learned in the physical security space to apply to the cybersecurity space. I'll give you an example. For instance, when you leave your home, you probably make sure every day, excuse me, that you lock your doors and windows and make sure that everything is secure, okay, while you're leaving. But when you leave the office, how often do you make absolutely sure that the computers, the routers, the peripherals, the network itself, whatever, keyboards, etc., are actually shut down, closed down, as safe and secure? Okay. So that's a problem. Okay, not too often. Checks all over. You got it right. We don't put a lot of emphasis in going through a checklist, but more than likely, when you leave home, or when you get out of your car and close the door, you make sure it's locked, right? So I think what we need to do is consider, what can we do in the cybersecurity space to mimic what we're doing in the physical security space. And that means that at some point we need to we need to learn those lessons that we've learned, okay, over all these years. Again, with our houses and cars and boats and offices and all that. So yeah, you apply some of those things that you've learned in the cybersecurity areas. Now, practically speaking, what does that mean in as far as what you can do, right? Well, what about your operating system on your computer? You know, how up to date is it? Has Apple or Windows or Microsoft, Microsoft, you know, have they issued any updates to your operating system? Has Apple issued a new browser for you? Is Chrome up to date? What about your router? Have you checked with the manufacturer? Are there any firmware upgrades? And you know, what about the operating system on your phone? Are you continually checking for updates for that? You know, or is that set so it can update automatically? There are a number of different areas where we definitely have to take a look at, again, what we're doing to make absolutely sure that we are covering all those bases, okay? And speaking of the cyberspace, and you know, there's another gap that exists. This one between IT workers and general employees, for instance. At many organizations, IT staffers do their job in a relatively siloed manner, leading the broader staff base to not be kept abreast of cybersecurity development within the company. As a result, employees don't have the general computing security knowledge they need to practice safe company computing, and are therefore more likely to do things like accidentally upload a malicious strain onto the organizational network. After all, if employees don't know the warning signs in terms of malicious strains, how can they be expected to keep them out? In other words, when I'm working at my computer and I get a suspicious looking email, or an email that I don't even know that's suspicious looking, and it has arbitrary links that, you know, ask me to click on certain things because it looks like it's from the CEO, it looks like it's from accounting, it looks like it's from bookkeeping or whatever. What does the policy state in terms of what I need to do about this? Do I call, verify with so-and-so that they've indeed sent me a request to upload my W-2 form, okay, onto the network? And if so, why? Okay, so some of these things we really need to take a look at, because believe it or not, these suspicious links and emails and text messages, those are the primary way that 99% of the computers and smartphones, etc., are compromised, okay, by arbitrary links. Well, Nate says only a dumbass would fall for it. I'm not quite so sure, because believe it or not, we're only spending like $10 billion a year trying to mitigate the damages that have been done by people, for instance, who work in corporate America, who've compromised plenty of networks. I don't think we would be hearing the headlines as much as we do if that were a true statement. So yeah, in the real world, we have a problem, and people are clicking on those links. Individuals, you know, who think that this was from a friend, because I can hack into your phone, for instance, and send you a link and say, look, I'm stuck at the airport, or I want you to look at this nice picture. And believe it or not, if you're not careful, that's exactly what you'll do. Phishing attacks are irrelevant and obsolete. No, I don't think they're irrelevant at all. Because, see, phishing attacks have become so sophisticated that a lot of people really don't know a legitimate attack from one that's not. So I heard Samsung will install cameras inside your refrigerator to keep track of your milk levels. What do you think about that? Well, that's absolutely true. That's another area where there's potential compromise. See, so once you close the door on one area, someone opens another one for vulnerabilities, right? If you have a camera in your refrigerator and I hack into that camera that's in your refrigerator, now I can see everything that's inside your refrigerator, and quite possibly use that weak link to get into your other parts of your network. You know, what other manufacturer decided to put a camera in something where it doesn't need to be? You know, Samsung is not really that interested in putting a lot of money into securing the camera that's on your network inside your refrigerator. They want to sell refrigerators. They want people to think, oh my God, I gotta have a camera in my refrigerator, or else I'm not gonna be, you know, the most popular person. When people gather around the water cooler at work, you want to talk about your camera and your refrigerator, just like we're talking about it right now. And someone is gonna say, okay, let me hack into this refrigerator, look at the camera, look at what you eat, what you don't eat. In other words, all of your habits, all of the various vulnerabilities in your house, in your office, they're subject to being compromised. So that's a very good point, and that's exactly what we're up against. We're up against manufacturers who just want to take advantage of putting various things in our homes, in our office, so that they can sell more goods and services to us. Okay. Now this is a very neat statistic right here. Okay, it's labeled IoT blind spots. Okay, and the reason why they call it IoT blind spots, Internet of Things blind spots, is because these are areas where people have admitted that they could do a better job. IoT, a survey by the digital security and compliance services firm Tripwire found 30% people said their organizations are prepared for security risks associated with the Internet of Things. 30% only, okay? Are, let me see, 30% are prepared. Let me see. So that's R. Get the rest of this. We could only fit so many characters in there. Okay, LT devices, comma, blah, 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 networks. Okay, now if we just take that particular bit right there and analyze it, okay, 30% of the people said that they were prepared for security risks associated with the Internet of Things devices that they have in their houses and offices, while only 34% said they believe their organizations accurately track the number of IoT devices on their networks. Okay, so that's pretty bad. I mean, that means 70% of the people are left unprotected, basically. So the survey of around 220 information security professionals who attended the Black Hat USA conference found 78% said they're concerned about the weaponization of IoT devices for use in the distributed denial of service attacks. So now this says a lot, because when you go to Black Hat in Las Vegas, you're amongst the best people on the planet who know a lot. And I've been to those conventions, and I can tell you, you don't go there naive thinking that those individuals are not capable of real damage. You're instructed before you even go to Black Hat or DEF CON to leave your phone at home, to leave any other wireless device, credit cards even, whatever, in your hotel room or somewhere else. Don't bring them in the building. That's how much that's the threat level associated with these people who are the same people who are teaching FBI agents and corporate America and everyone else how to secure networks, find vulnerabilities, because they hack into the systems first, and then they tell you afterwards what's the matter with your system. so unless you want every single credit card on your computer put on the internet for the whole world to see, then maybe you should realize that, look, this is a real issue, and this is the real world, and this is where we're up against. Okay, So that's a good point that you guys brought up about the refrigerators and such. And one other area before I forget, because I typically like to just throw in a whole bunch of information into these sessions, and so you guys will have it, and then if possible, I can go back and cover things. But I want you to have a lot of notes at your disposal after the Fire Talk session is over. So anyway, the FBI is warning numerous states that hackers are hacking into voter registration databases. Okay, there's been a number of databases that have already been compromised. Okay, in June, in Arizona, for instance, officials had to take certain systems offline due to what the FBI characterized as a credible threat to our voter registration system. Okay, the Arizona Secretary of State, Matt Roberts, he admitted to this. So yeah, this is serious business, and the outcome of an election could be determined by someone hacking into a system and changing voter numbers and votes to give one candidate an advantage over another one. Okay, and we would be having a candidate in office on a local level or a higher level, federal, presidentials or